Let's dig deeper now into our top story from today. The jury has been seated in the Logan Clegg murder trial. Clegg is accused of killing Stephen and Wendy Reed on a walking trail in Concord last year.
Opening statements in this case are expected to begin tomorrow. Former County Attorney Patricia LaFrance joins us live in the studio now. And Patricia, this has become such a high-profile case in our state. A jury was just selected this afternoon. So what goes into picking an impartial jury in a case like this one? Such a high-profile case that so many people across the state have probably heard about.
Right. Well, first of all, the judge, asks a bunch of questions to make sure, they're standard questions that a judge asks. And then there may be more specific questions called voir dire that the defense and the prosecution may ask, and just to make sure that if they have heard of the case, if they still can remain impartial. It doesn't automatically disqualify them if they become, if they have heard of the case. So you just have to make sure that they can still remain impartial even if they have heard something about that case.
So opening statements begin tomorrow. Patricia, we love talking to you because you kind of know it from both tables. You've done the thing as a county attorney and also as a defense attorney. What do you expect to hear from both sides as they lay out this case to the jury tomorrow?
Right, so it'll probably be in two parts because they are taking a view. So they'll probably do some type of a pre-view statement talking to the jurors about what they can expect to see out at the view. But they'll also have their opening statement where each side will lay out their case. So the state will most likely focus on the forensics, what the forensic evidence is, because they don't have maybe a lot of eyewitness testimony. They have some witnesses, but really the key part of it is going to be the forensic evidence that they have. Now the defense is going to be focusing on the lack of eyewitnesses and maybe the forensic evidence. They're going to challenge some of it and say it's not as as solid as the prosecution may make it out to be.
And one of the big questions in this case, Patricia, has been what evidence should be allowed in this trial, including the ballistics and the police sketch. So how do you think those pieces of evidence will play a role here?
Right, so it depends. Some evidence may come in with limiting instructions to the jury. They may consider it for one thing but not another. So, the sketch, for instance, they may consider it in considering whether or not that an eyewitness that saw this person, if it was accurate, they can use it to judge that person's credibility and whether it was really, him that they saw that day. So, it all depends on the evidence, what limiting instructions there may be for that evidence. And
Patricia, do you envision a scenario where the jury, at the end of the day, hears from Logan Clegg himself on the stand?
Yeah, well, at some point, the defense gets to put on their case. Of course, he's not obligated to put on any defense. The burden of proof is always on the state. And he is under no obligation to testify, and the jury is instructed that if he doesn't testify, they cannot use that against him. Obviously, he has constitutional rights. But yeah, they may hear from him, and he may, if his attorneys feel that he can be portrayed as maybe a sympathetic person, then they may have him testify. And of course, that's a decision they may not make until their case is up and going on, and depending on how the rest of the evidence comes in.
Patricia LaFrance, former county attorney, always great to hear from you, breaking it all down for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.